They were friends, they were enemies, and then they're friends.
I mean, the old lady abandoning the fox, which would be the same as Naruto's mom dying and sealing the non-tail fox inside of Naruto.
You're up, Mingo.
Hmm?
I don't know. I don't think that
It
was a point.
started.
I don't think there was a point in Fox and the
It's
Hound where I
begun.
really hated the Hound like I did Sasuke.
Are we on?
that might.
I hear clicking.
So you gonna start or not?
Oh, I just heard clicking. I wasn't sure if we were on. I just heard a bunch of clicking.
I said.
Alright. He says,
Ready, Cosmo?
"We's are good."
I'll shoot you an invite.
Welcome back to Prime Time, people. Y'all already know what it is. I be your boy, Mingo-Dee.
I'm your boy Snake.
But no,
And I am, of
I know for a
course,
fact
the
there was
hammer.
about- There are at least
Hey.
3 deaths
And now, without further ado,
that made me feel
now I'm going to tell you about all the darkness. You know what? I can't do it. I can't do it. I just can't do it. It just doesn't feel right. It's not October. And I can't. I know I promised you guys. I know I promised you guys last week that I was gonna go into the other, movies and TV shows, because a lot of them, in fact, 7 of them actually, were very, like horror related, and I was gonna go into that because that's what Comic-Con talked about, amongst others. But I just can't do it. Plus, there's something else going on in the multiverse. It's a crisis. So, but before I get to that, I'm still gonna give you the little shorts here. So we're just gonna go over those little 7 real quick. I'm not gonna go into too much. So there were 7 movies and shows, or whatever. There were The Walking Dead. It's on its final season, so get ready for that. Fear the Walking Dead, season 7. I didn't even know it was the season 7 of that show. That show's been on that long. Jeez. And that's the sequel-ish of The Walking Dead. And then The Walking Dead World Beyond. I didn't even know that was a thing, and it's apparently season 2. I mean, these shows need to end. I mean, apparently the original one is going to end, so whatever. So that's those 3. Then there's a movie called Army of Thieves, which is apparently in a zombie apocalypse, but it's about thieves, robbing stuff. So it's not really even about the zombie apocalypse. So that's a thing. So there's that. Then there's the Day of the Dead, which is based off all of those other things, going all the way back to Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead and all those other movies that came out. It's just another rendition, but this one's a TV show, so I'm kind of interested to see how that's gonna work. But whatever. Then there's the Chucky TV show. Yeah, you heard me right, Chucky. I'm kind of wondering about that. I'll talk more about that, like I said, in October, because that one's, I'm wondering how that's really gonna work, because I don't know, but we'll get past that. Then, last but not least, there's Lucifer on its final season. The 6th season, 666 season. So I'll get more into that, like I said, when everything gets here in October. But yeah, that's the Comic-Con shorts of the horror. But moving on, because now we have to get into it is the new month. It's August. That's why I'm wearing this. Wear these different shirts all the time. I know you like it. You love it. And now we're getting into the state of streaming crisis on infinite platforms.
No, I'm talking about the out in the parking lot sucking dick thing.
So, why is it a crisis? Well, there's something really going on out there that actually is something that actually just happened recently that actually might really cause a big change. If you were here on the last couple episodes, we were talking about, when we did talk about the state of streaming, we were talking about Netflix and some of the other platforms are getting too big, and then we talked about the releases of movies upon and streaming. So some things have happened since then. But before we get there, as I always do, I'm gonna give you the top 5 streaming platforms, because things have changed. I base this off of reviews.org. A shout out to them. Go subscribe if you guys want to. Speaking of subscribing, since you're here, why don't you like, subscribe, and hit the comment. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, please like and share. And if you're live with us right now, tell us, because we got our mods being the other 2 dudes that which is Snake and Hammer, because they're the only ones, they mod the stuff, because I don't mod stuff. But
shout out. Shout out to the boy Joey right quick. What's happening? I saw you comment. What's up? He's tuned in with us. So,
hey,
the trouble
so,
back himself.
He just says he's watching.
Trouble, he's back. That. If y'all haven't checked out his content, please do. Trouble, you know what I'm saying? So, so let's go. Top 5, starting at number 5, Apple TV. Apple TV, why? Because even though it doesn't have that much stuff on its platform, the amount of content that it does have is great. So even though it may be like maybe 14 or 20 original titles, those titles will keep you going back, whether they're movies or TV shows. And it's only for $7, so you can't get, that's really good for that price range. Number 4, believe it or not, is Netflix. Yep, Netflix have got dropped down number 4, at least based off of these reviewers, and it's pretty much because a lot of people, a lot of the 3. When we get to the top 3, they've changed some things around, and what they're doing with these other 3 platforms have just caught up with Netflix. Plus, Netflix, as you know, because they lost a lot of their content to some of the other streaming platforms, and because they're trying to get more original stuff like movies and stuff, and which we'll get to later, they have to change their prices so much that people are starting to say, you know what, maybe I don't need Netflix, maybe I need another one instead. So drop them down. Number 4, HBO Max. Now I know you're wondering, but their price is so high. But if you've seen their slate of stuff on their platform, they have technically everything Warner Media, everything DC, everything, and just about any type of rated R content you would like, you know, from the gory to some of you guys are into the sexual stuff, you weirdos. But, you know, so they have all that stuff, and they have like some really good drama content and from like Game of Thrones to, you know, like I think The Wire. I want to say The Wire. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. People got HBO Max, you would know. But their content is just really good for $15 a month. One guy was saying, well, what about I'm not gonna pay $15 to go to just watch one movie like the Snyder Cut, whatever. It's like, well, think of it like Game Pass. Shout out to Hammer. You can $15 a month for Snyder Cut, but you'll be getting all of those other movies, so it comes with a lot more. So that's why it is number 3. And then number 2, Prime Video. Now, you know, Prime Video, of course, you know, everybody's like, whoa, wait. You know, Prime Video is tied to, you know, shipping, so who cares? Because it's like, that's just a cheap thing for them. Yeah, but their slate of content is good. They even have free content from IMDb. Internet movie out of it, yeah. IMDb, and the stuff that Amazon puts out is really good. They have a lot of really good content that really can put a sting into Netflix and HBO Max. Sometimes I find myself trying to decide what to watch, and sometimes I end up going to Amazon and watching a lot more of their content more than Netflix. Sometimes it's crazy. So I mean, I don't have HBO Max, so maybe I might shift it there. And then number 1, the top dog, we've been talking about it the last 3 or 4 weeks now, Disney Plus, because they've just really like Disney Plus. I know what y'all thinking, but Disney Plus, they have everything from tiny kids even to adults. The only thing they do not have is rated R content. So that's the only thing they do not have is the rated R content. But, you know, they have bundles and deals which really put them up. They have their bundles for Hulu and ESPN, which put them at an advantage to compete against somebody like HBO Max, because it's just $13 or something like that with the whole bundle. And then because I've gotten this deal, they have a, depending on which type of deal you get, I have a deal where you can get Disney Plus for 6 months on us, and I think it's dealing with some type of music platform. I think it's my Amazon Music, which is crazy. They dipped into Amazon with Amazon Unlimited Music, and you get Disney Plus free for 6 months. So I can see why they put it there. And now, like I said, this isn't mine. I'm basing this off reviews.com and some other platform, people who did reviews off this, whatever, and technically these were the 5 that kept popping up over and over and over. So that's where they are. So if you have a different list, if you have, and your list has Netflix at number 1, or maybe TV at number, please please let us
We just
know
get tired
or
of
put in the
working
comment
at
section.
Best
You know,
Buy,
let
like
us
paying the
tell us
$100.
right now if you're here. Let us right now. Trouble. What you got? You got some stuff? You don't got some stuff? Let us know, and you know, maybe we can talk about that a little later. But now that we got that out the way, I don't got nothing to throw, so I'm just throwing my arms. So now that I got that out the way, let's go into why there's a crisis. Well, as you know, as you see, the order got flipped up. Netflix has been moved. Disney Plus is #1. But is Disney Plus really #1? And why would I say that? Yeah. Well, the crisis is this. As we talked about how movies are coming back to the theaters, is that the problem?
I mean, he still technically has customers, but
Scarlett Johansson has, if you haven't heard already, she has said she is suing Disney Plus, well, Disney in general, because of
exactly. That's what
neglect to her contract. Her contract states
it was a breach of contract.
There it is. Breach of contract. Yeah, pretty much her contract states that she's supposed to make money based off the movie, but only in the box office hits. And when Disney decided to change some stuff up, Kevin Feige weighed in on this, by the way. And when Disney decided to release it on the platform and in the movie theaters, apparently they didn't change her contract or said people's contract, and therefore she did not get paid. Now the suit is going on. Now Disney weighed in first, and I'm trying to remember exactly what they said, so I can't say I quote, but I'm gonna paraphrase here. They said that they find it sad that and now I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna try not biased, so I'm gonna say it the way they said. They said they find it sad that amongst the pandemic that's going on, that she would want to have more money or want to get more money when all this. Technically, that's the paraphrase here. I'm not saying it correctly. And they said, and we have obligated her and gave her $20 million based off, or 20 extra. I think, 20. I don't know if 20 million or 20,000, whatever. Based off the money that she. No, they said they gave her 250,000 added to the 20 million that she already made to the movie. So I hope that helps, or something like that. So I was like, wow, dang, Disney, that was okay. So that was, and to add to that, Kevin Feige weighed in. Kevin Feige was like, he was embarrassed and upset, but not at her. See, I thought it was at her. He was upset because he said that he whenever he goes into those offices and talks to the corporate people, he said that he lobbied for her, and he told them that it's stupid if they try to release it because you're going to mess up, you're going to make her, whether it's whoever's in Black Panther or whatever, you're going to make them upset because it's not in their contract. So you should do something, or just don't release it at all on the platform and just leave it in the movie theaters. And Disney was like, okay, and they did what they wanted. Now the problem with that is this: sources report that, and everybody knows HBO Max is about to do the same thing, but sources report that HBO Max have already, I think way before this, even before Scarlett Johansson even came to a agreement to do a lawsuit, they've already changed contracts and fixed the contracts with their people and said, sure, we'll pay y'all, no problem. So it's like, whoa, well, Max did it, and that's a thing, and now that's public news, and even though she got a little extra money, she's still doing the suit. That means that it's a big problem for Disney, and not just Disney, other people. Well, maybe not HBO Max right now, but for a lot of streaming platforms, it might make either, the way I'm seeing it is that it might make some consumers possibly not trust it or leave. Maybe not, because the pandemic's still going on to an extent. But it definitely might make certain artists or actors or production companies, whatever, not work with some of these companies. So I see it a big crisis here. So I don't know. That's what I'm seeing. It's a big crisis. Seems like there's like Loki and jumped everywhere and like tore up a lot of multiverses on this one. So I want to hear what you guys think on it. So Hammer, like, he got a lot to say. So go ahead, Hammer. Go ahead. Let's get it in. Let's talk about this.
So, first of all, before I go on the rest of this, it's not a rant. Before I say everything else I need to say, let me be first to say she's 100% right. Disney is wrong this time. And that's big coming from me because Disney, up until now, has done no wrong. Like, they have done right by Marvel and all of that. Like, it's been fantastic up until right now. And really, it comes down to a legal situation. It comes down to wording of the contract. And to me, once she brought it up, because it was interesting, you said that HBO Max had already kind of started fixing the contracts for some of their actors, some of their stuff before this happened, because they saw that everything was opening up. They knew that things were, the way everything was agreed to, that it probably was going to have to be adjusted. I know Disney has to have the legal team of legal teams. Somebody should have been on this. They should have known that if she was going to come after them, they should have known she was going to do it. So for the simple fact that you drew up the contract for it to count, for her to get paid off of theater sales, but then you still released it on the app at the same time at a ridiculous price, and everybody's not comfortable still with going with the movies. So then you have people that haven't seen it yet and haven't spent the money, and she's technically losing money. Whereas if it was in the theater and only in the theater for a certain amount of time and then on the app, then she had a chance to collect whatever she was going to collect off of the initial release in the theater. Now, I do understand that there's been other movies already that have come straight to the app during the pandemic. I understand that it is a pandemic. I hear it, but the fact still remains that there was a contract and it should have been adjusted before it even got to this point. It's sad because it is it does kind of leave a ugly scar on Disney a little bit, because it's like, damn. It really for both sides, because there's gonna be some people that feel like maybe she's been an actress and maybe she's petty, and you make millions of dollars all the time. You've been making this money with Marvel since Iron Man 2. So some of them are gonna feel like that, and and I can understand that opinion, but you gotta understand contract is contract. And this is what it states. This is what's supposed to happen, and you broke contract. You should have fixed contract, but you broke this one. So, to me, for Disney, the right thing to do is to just really make it right and go back and look at what the sales are for, the app, and look at what the sales are for the theater, average it out, cut a check and be done with it. That's how you fix that on your end. If the world wants to continue to dislike Scarlett Johansson after that, let them dislike her for that. You need to keep the ball rolling because her time is over. I mean, that's her last film. She was killed off in the movie. Like, this was her movie that was supposed to come out before COVID. It doesn't benefit you to fight her legally, trying to save a couple of bucks when you're making a freaking killing and you have a lineup of movies that are coming out. You're going to continue to make money for the next 4 or 5 years. It's at this point, you just pay her and move on. Like I said, let her deal with the naysayers and the negativity on her end. You, as Disney and Marvel, clear your name. I respect Kevin Feige for trying to, for going in and taking her back on that and saying, hey, and I'm pretty sure he did just tell him, hey, you had a contract, man. You can't do this like this. You need to fix this before this movie comes out, because if you don't, there's going to be a problem. They probably had a call about it. He probably had already talked to Scarlett Johansson and was like, and she probably told them, if they do it, I'm going to sue them. And, he went in and was like, hey, fair warning, y'all might want to fix this shit, because it's not going to look good if you have to take this into a legal situation, because technically she will be in the right. So, I mean, again, I just think that yeah, it may seem a little petty because a lot of people, she's already rich, she's already has money. Why are you complaining about money? That is her profession. That is what she does for a living. They signed a contract for things to be a certain kind of way, and it didn't work out like that. So that's a breach of contract. It just is what it is. It's no different than if you sign a contract to pay on the house, and you breach that contract by not paying on the house. They take your shit away. It's a breach of contract. You have an agreement. It is what it is. So Disney might try to hold out, but I suspect quietly it'll be one of those. Okay, we'll just pay you, and then they'll move on because you don't want that that dragging out, especially when you're on a roll like this. They've been on a roll and they continue to be on a roll. Loki was fantastic, and you don't kill momentum with this. I'm sorry, you don't. Just pay her and move on. That's my opinion.
Dope. Snake, what about you? How you feel about the whole situation?
Well, I mean, she did get paid, so that's one thing that everybody keeps. She got paid for what they got in the movies and what came out on Disney Plus. Like they did sign a contract, and I'm not saying anything about that. It's bad on both parts. Both sides are in the wrong because the contract was made before COVID happened, because it was supposed to be let out in the theaters. After COVID happened, theaters got shut down, so Disney had to go with another thing. At that time, they should have redone the contract. At that time, Johansson should have went in there to re-advise the contract. Like, it's both sides are in the wrong. But I mean, they adjusted to be able to make money. Like, if they would have kept towards the contract only in theaters, they wouldn't have made as much money as they did. They did. The article I read, they did pay out what was made. It's just, I don't know how it's gonna go, but at the same time, I do feel like it's both parties are in the wrong, because just like at the house, like when you get a house, if something goes, if something happens, it's your responsibility to go back and say, hey, this is wrong. We need to fix this. We need to redo the contract. Like, so it's, I mean, if she wasn't aware of it, then that's on her publicist or whoever. I mean, her manager or whatever.
Legal team, manager and legal team.
They should have caught it way before it even happened to this. Disney Plus should have reached out, said, "Hey, we're gonna have to redo the contract. Come in." We don't. As far as we know, they probably tried. I don't know. I mean, we don't know everything that's happened. They're like, I'm pretty sure they. I mean, I would like to say I'm pretty sure they were big enough to reach out and handle their business properly. But again, COVID screwed up a lot of stuff, so they might have reached out, maybe not. They weren't able to. I don't know. We're just kind of gonna wait and see what comes to light. Right now, it's all speculation. So
that's true. I can get on board with that. I mean, the only thing I'm indifferent on is something that you said is like, well, the contract was agreed to before COVID hit, and that's fine. But this movie released in theaters at the same time with Disney Plus. So my only thing is,
saying. They had to adjust to Disney to put it on Disney Plus, because they not all theaters are back up and running.
True.
They had to put it out on Disney Plus to be able to make money. Like, it's all money game to them. That's what I'm saying. At that time, that's why I said at that time, when they decided they were going to put it out on Disney Plus and the theater, that's when they should have re-advised the contract. That's when they should have reached out. That's when Charlotte and Johansson should have reached out and say, hey, we need to re-advise this. That's why I'm saying, like, at the time, they should have done it. And we don't know if they did or not. But I'm saying that the contract was made before COVID happened, so they might have. It might have.
They still would have been okay if they would have staggered it. They should have staggered it if they weren't gonna. If they did not reach out, and if they were not going to reach out, it would have been smarter for them to attempt to stagger the release, and then this might have been a quieter thing.
But if they have Disney Plus that they can put it out there on and still pay their people, which they paid out to her, I mean.
Well, but you're still looking at a contract, and that's what I'm talking about. If you're not going to revise the contract, let's say they didn't, we don't know, because like you said, it's all speculation. But if they're not going to revise it to keep yourself
if they stuck to the contract, if they stuck to the contract and paid her
just
the
stagger
money,
it, even if you stagger it, don't just not put it on Disney Plus.
No, I'm saying if they paid her out what was made off of the theaters, but didn't pay her out on the Disney Plus, then she would have made less money.
I'm not saying that they wouldn't have played it out on Disney Plus. What I'm saying is
that's the whole thing. She thinks that she didn't get paid. That's why she did it. She feels like she didn't get paid enough. That's her whole thing.
So she's disputing. So what you're saying is she's disputing how much money they made total.
Yes. She feels that she didn't. She feels that because they did it on Disney Plus and the theaters, that they didn't make as much money as they would have. So she didn't get paid enough. She feels like it would have got paid more in theaters if it was just theater release only.
Okay, so
if you think about it, if right now, if you just a theater release only at this time, how much money would you make? Not as much.
I mean, we have no way of knowing. It depends because different areas.
Well, just thinking about how much people like if they would more likely pay or want to just stay home and watch it on Disney Plus, they would just pay because you had to pay for it even on Disney Plus. So either way, you're paying either if it's Disney Plus or at the theaters. Like it's the revenue all goes to them, and they cut it and give it to the people. So it's like I said, we have to find out more information whenever it comes to light on exactly what's going on. Like everything's speculation right now, so we can keep going back and forth. We don't know.
Yeah, and what's good about all this is that I know that last two shows ago when we did talk about the whole thing, I know the theaters were already a little upset with Disney and starting to get upset with HBO Max.
So
we got some feedback from.
No, it's not feedback. It's just added information that I can't remember her name, but the one that played in Cruella. She's investigating Emma Stone. She's investigating. She's investigating her legal options now.
Yes, I did see that, and like I said, what's great about all this is that it's not great because anytime contracts and people fighting, in business, whatever, it can be very, very nasty, especially for us kids because we're the kids because we just want mom and dad to get along. I think that's the right analogy. If it's not, I apologize because I messed up, but. We were, what I mean by great is that we were talking about this a couple shows back. I want to say a couple shows back. And we were talking about how the actual movie theater companies, they were saying that they don't like the streaming companies and how they were losing money. So it's kind of like it seemed like everything is starting to come back full circle to this. Will this be a thing where it will be a constant war where theaters versus streaming? Remember back in the day, remember before COVID, it was TV or cable or live TV versus streaming, and that is kind of gone. I want to say streaming one, but then you have YouTube TV and Hulu Live, so I guess those little hybrids right there still kind of keep live TV and all that kind of stuff going. So whatever, but I wonder now, will this constantly be a big headbutting thing of either movies or actors versus streaming services. Well, the companies that work, I mean, you know, because they work for the companies. All those companies still do movies and TV. So I'm wondering. I'm interested now in the next couple of months, whatever, because there are a lot more releases coming out, especially for Marvel, especially Warner Brothers got a lot more stuff coming. So I'm wondering, what's gonna happen now. With that being said, go ahead.
Unless, I'm just saying it will, unless, and I'm pretty sure Disney's probably already looking at it. It'll be that unless they go back and revise contracts, and that may be a reason why. Because I remember when we brought it up on the show, the reason why they said they're not going to do any more long-term contracts for characters in movies. They're not going to do multi-movie deals anymore. And I think this is a part of that change, is to stop this. Because I'm pretty sure that contract she had is part of the multi-year deal, multi-movie thing. And this last movie, she's like, I'm getting screwed because of this. So that would be the end of the multi-film deal. Everything now is going to be by film, you know, and that's it. And as far as the movie theater and the you know, streaming, movie theater's going to have to figure something out, because streaming is convenient and people pay for it. And I don't see Disney or Netflix or anybody else giving up their business for a movie theater. I mean, there's something about going to a movie theater, whether you go to Movie Tavern or Synergy here where I'm at, or anywhere like that. The atmosphere is cool, you know, because you're out, you're not at the house, you're out, you can order food to your chair and you sit and watch the movie, you know, it's cool. But there are people that are comfortable sitting at the house. They've gotten comfortable sitting at the house. It's like the new normal now, to be able to be like, okay, I'll pay the $30. You know, I think that's ridiculous, personally. I'll pay the $30, stay at home, and watch it right here.
Right.
You know, movie theater.
I have a theory. I'm gonna say the theory at the very end of the show. Not theory. It's an idea. I'm getting my inner. Wait, to make sure I say this correctly. I'm channeling my inner snake. There we go. You know what I'm saying? Okay. There we go. Everyone didn't want it to sound kind of weird and crazy, because, you know, he know this guy. This guy will be like, oh, sorry, you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Look at his face. He was waiting on something.
He was waiting on something right now.
Because he's trying to pull something. He's gonna pull.
I ain't gotta think of nothing. Like, it was already there.
See, look.
Don't have to think of anything. He wants to channel it, you know.
Like, I already got it. Yeah.
That's not what that word means at all.
Yeah.
That's not what that means.
Yeah.
That word does not mean that at all.
It, bruh.
Oh God, here we go.
Yeah.
But let's shift gears just a little bit. Like I said, I'll get to that idea later. And let's talk about let's talk about the other part of I'm not gonna say crisis, but this maybe they're a type of Superman savior that's going to help the crisis of infinite platforms. So Netflix is doing more Netflix things, you know, because they're always the eyeball out. What they're doing is that they're trying to go after Christopher Nolan and his production company. They want to exclude, I don't know about exclusively, but they definitely want to put his movies when they first come out on their platform or whatever. Now, this is funny because if you remember, Christopher Nolan was like, it's stupid for having streaming companies to do stuff which goes back full circle. They have streaming companies put movies out on platforms, especially HBO Max, because he thinks that's the stupidest thing. But I think the reason why, and I got this from an episode that I saw earlier, that I think the reason why Netflix is doing this is because Steven Spielberg a long time ago said that, you know, that putting that any movie that comes from something like Netflix or anything like that's an original movie that comes on those things shouldn't be Oscar worthy. But then later on, so I don't know what legal thing happened. Later on, Netflix was able to acquire a part of his movie production company under them. So I don't know if he just was like, yeah, you know, I don't know, maybe somebody went there and was like, hey, let me tell you a story. And maybe they made him cry or something. And he was like, y'all are Oscar worthy. I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe the mafia came. a checkbook and said, "Here you go."
That's all that is. Man, look, hey, you can have all the money in the world, but I'm telling you right now, walking in with the right dollar sign, the right amount of zeros. Like, you know what? Maybe y'all ain't that bad. Go ahead and cut me that check. I'm just saying.
You know what? Y'all pretty good. Y'all pretty good. So I just want to throw that in there because, you know, Netflix has always been, like I said, whenever we talk about these streaming wars versus movies and anything, Netflix isn't necessarily on that anymore. And I said anymore because it's like Netflix at first was taking everything, in my opinion. They were the monopoly. They were the one. They were taking all your TV shows, all your movies from everywhere. And then it seemed like everybody just, you know, decided to Power Ranger up and, you know, knock the monster down. And like Sonic, all the rings just went flying everywhere. And now Netflix is trying to redeem themselves. It's kind of like Vegeta. They're like saying, it's like, oh, I'm good now. I'm not bad. But then it might be like one of those other movies where the twist, they might be the bad guy coming in. So, I don't know. I'm actually, if I had to root, I would kind of, on a cool route to see if Netflix could come back and kind of shake things up a little bit. Because I think that would be kind of cool just to see them come in there and say, bam, y'all thought I was gone. I'm taking this back. I'm taking Marvel. I'm taking DC. What's up? Because we can do what we want. I would love to see that danger. I mean, it will be chaos. I mean, it's already a crisis. I keep doing that. That's my thing. You know, the crisis on infinite platforms. Gotta throw that. That's my coin at there. But you know, I would like to see it. Just, I mean, I know it'll be kind of crazy, but at the same time, I think it'll also make people decide what to buy or not to buy or whatever. I mean, competition is technically good for consumers. So I don't know. I would like to see it, but I doubt it happens. But I think it'll be dope because, you know, it takes money. You would need lots and lots of money. And I know Netflix got money, but I don't think they got Disney money. Or HBO or Warner Media money. I don't think they got that money. But if they ever did, they probably could say, bam, slap you in the face. Bam. Even if it's like for a day. Even if they take like a Marvel movie for a day, it says eyes, and they got to give it back. I would still be like, ha, look at that. That'd be funny. I don't know. I think it's funny. I don't know.
You know what though? Like to be honest, like Netflix, I know they do a lot of their own original stuff now, and like, you know, I have no issue with them doing their original stuff. Like, some of it's good, some of it's like, But I mean, you know, like they got Zack Snyder to do an original, you know, with the zombie.
Yeah, they did.
And, like, I think if you offer the platform and have the right amount of dollars, which most of the time they do, I don't see an issue with them, you know, making originals. Do it, man. I mean, why not? You are basically like the grandfather of this whole streaming thing. So why would you not kind of just evolve with the time and say, hey, we're gonna have our own original stuff? You know, they did the whole comedy series where they had the different comedians.
Yeah.
You know, they got Dave Chappelle. Like, you signed Dave Chappelle, and I watched both or all three of the specials with Dave Chappelle on, and I enjoyed all of them. You know, and it was done the right way. You know, they got him, they got Mike Epps, they got, you know, I think they gave what's that crazy girl name? God damn it. She always acting crazy. Dang it, Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany, yeah.
Got a special in like 2 shows where she's bringing out other comedians. Like, Netflix went out and got all of these people and like paid dollar amounts and gave them a chance to like put their product out there. I have no issue with it. I mean, people can take offense to it, but it's like, bruh, what do you want them to do? They can't just consistently wait on it to be okay for them to purchase the right to show a movie that's 5 years old. They got to do something to keep people interested and keep subscribers. You know, people that are going to pay every month for this. I mean, it is what it is. I have no issue with them doing original stuff. I mean, Amazon does original stuff.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, you know, Disney Plus, I mean, they got all these shows that come out that are fantastic, and it's their stuff. It's original. It's there.
Yeah.
And Netflix is no different.
Yeah.
Shout out anybody if you watch it. If you work at Netflix, I still want a continuation of Jericho. Like, I'm waiting. Please, somebody. It ended so terrible.
It's not gonna happen.
I need it to like be complete. I know it's not gonna happen, but I can wish. It needs to happen.
Yo, y'all are on here. If Joey, you still on here, Trouble? Y'all want to, please comment. What do y'all want Jericho to come back? How do y'all feel about the Marvel situation with ScarJo, or just streaming in general? What do y'all want to see? Y'all want to see more originals? Y'all want to see a big fight between all of them, or no? Not like, let us know. Let us know in the comment section. You know, if you're live, if you aren't, if you scrolled on your feed and you seen us and you didn't stop, go back. Go back. Maybe you still scroll. Maybe you still see us again. Maybe I'm pointing at you right now. And go back and just, say hi to us and talk or whatever. But let's go over to the other side of this crisis. Even whenever there's a crisis, there's still things that are good going on that can make you still say, you know what, I see hope on the horizon. So we're going to talk about a couple of things. And one of the things we want to talk about is, now I don't know if this movie was released only in theaters. And I'm not sure exactly domestically how much it made or not. But we're going to talk about on the Warner Brothers side, the Suicide Squad. I almost said Suicide. What? The Suicide Squad. Man, all I know is that every review I saw, I haven't seen the movie yet because I was waiting, because I was kind of just waiting because I wanted to take my son. My son was like, he was out of town, he was busy, so I want him to go so we could like laugh and see Harley Quinn cut up some folks or whatever. But from what I've seen from all the reviews, everybody says, number one, it's not a sequel. Just letting everybody know it's not a sequel. It is a revamp, reboot. It's like pretend that other movie doesn't exist, and this is the official, real Suicide Squad movie. So everything that you wanted from the comics, from the TV show, from everything else, like for real, if you didn't like the other Suicide Squad, this is your movie. James Gunn knocked it out of the park. Like, I haven't seen it, but I'm talking about what all the reviewers say. They say knocked it out of the park. They say that Harley Quinn was the best out of every movie she's ever been in. This was the best Harley Quinn she's been. They talked about how Idris Elba and John Cena, at all people, that their connection in this movie was phenomenal. As they played the rival gun, huh?
So
what?
you're saying it's not a continuation, it's a revamp?
Yes.
How the hell do they do that?
It's just like it's Amanda Waller. She coming in. I mean, you guys know the story. Amanda Waller's coming in, and then she just picks the Suicide Squad. This is how they're starting the movie, like just like the first one, the first one, but as it didn't happen. Like, she comes in and she gets all of them, and they're a part of Suicide Squad. That's how it happens. It's just hi for the first time. Apparently.
So is it just a new team, or is it like a completely, like, from the beginning, like Amanda Waller didn't never meet them? Because that's how the Suicide, like that. Because the Suicide Squad was a random teams. It wasn't like at random.
Well, yeah, I think the way that they were making it sound is that like I said, I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it so I can give you more. Dang it, I need to see it. But I don't know what am I hitting? Just my lap. But no, yeah, it's supposed to be like a revamp. Like this, like James Gunn came in and he's told his story of the Suicide Squad. Apparently, now that's just based off what he said and what the reviewers are saying. I don't know how Warner Brothers is looking at it. Maybe they'll come out and say it's a sequel. Maybe they'll say it isn't, because they're retconning a lot of stuff to kind of put everything in the place that they want it to be. Because that's why they're saying the Snyder Cut isn't a part of their canon, because they're trying to fix their whole slate so they can one day. And I'm saying one day because they're not ready yet to compete against Marvel, because they're not ready. They can compete maybe on a movie by movie basis, but they can't compete with a whole. But so that's just based off what I'm saying, based off what the reviewers were saying. But regardless, everybody says this Suicide Squad movie was like awesome because it had the right amount of comedy, the right amount of over the top action, to where it's like, that don't make a lick of sense. But it's a comic book movie. I love it. Like, they didn't have to really explain. and then people were dying left to right. So they made it. I mean, of course, Harley Quinn is gonna technically survive, but the way they said that the movie was written is to where they wrote the movie in a way. I'm Porky Piggin over here, cause you know how you say one word and switch whatever. I'm giving out my age anyway. Wow. He wrote the movie to where you didn't even know if she was going to make it because, I think the team is, 20, 30, 40 people deep and people are just, you don't know who's going to die. Oh, he's like, oh man, I love him. Dead. Oh, Attack on Titan? Am I watching Game of Thrones? Oh, snap. I like her. Dead. Oh, wait. And that's pretty much how the movie is. It's like, it's funny, awesome. They get you attached to somebody, then they kill them off. And it's like, what? And then all this stuff goes on. So I think the only caveat was I think people didn't like the Thinker. But you can't get mad at that. The guy who played the Thinker on the Flash television show, he did such an amazing job. I think anybody that plays the Thinker has big shoes to fill because that guy did a great job. He was so great that to where he made some of the other villains on the Flash TV show really like forgettable because he was really good as Thinker. He did his job. He played that part. But so in the movie, the Thinker wasn't really the best. Everybody was just like, he was kind of forgettable. But it is what it is. But everybody said Harley Quinn was great. Idris Elba's character was great. Even what's her name who played Amanda Waller? She played in the first one and in this one. They said she was just phenomenal again. She did it again. So everybody's great. Everybody's saying, yeah, there it is, Viola Davis. Everybody's saying that this movie is just really good. So they say if you want to go see something, go see it. Like I said before, I don't know if it went to HBO Max. I want to say it did, but I don't know. But I do know that in theaters, people raved about it, and its support is apparently right now. I want to say that it might have even passed Wonder Woman 19 whatever it was, 1982. Yeah, I think they said that it topped that movie, which that was the leading DC movie at the time. Because first it was Shazam, first it was the first Wonder Woman movie that came out, then Shazam beat that. No, then Aquaman beat that, then Shazam beat that one, and then Wonder Woman beat that one, and now they're saying this beats that. So I think, at least if I got it wrong, let me know, guys, because I think, but regardless, they say this movie is really that good, so I can't wait to go see it. I might see it this weekend, I don't know. Or if I buy HBO Max, I might watch it there, if it's there. I don't know. So we'll figure it out.
Go see it now. See it now while it's number one. It'll be number one until Black Adam, and then it'll get crushed.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Jungle Cruise, has anybody seen Jungle Cruise?
I haven't, but it looks good. It looks good though. It looks good. Like
that thing was hilarious.
It looks good. It looks good. I will say that Disney comedies, they do their thing. I will say that. That's one thing that Disney is very good at. They're like live action comedies. They kind of do their thing on there. I will say that. They live action comedies be killing. So that's that. But also took it to the
movies.
Oh.
Yeah, she was cross-eyed.
You're not gonna say.
We just didn't see eye to eye on it. Yeah, I think she was dating somebody on the side.
Stupid. Stupid. Hate him. Hate everything.
Why? Okay. So
because
some of y'all, if anybody's watching that knows this, you already know that this is what he does. But for the new people who are
of the Jungle Cruise, that was in the movie. So,
but for anybody who's brand new and like, but anybody who's brand new and is like, why did he just do that? I know it was in the movie. Why did he just do that? Okay, because you're probably used to him doing random Marvel things. I think we don't. This is the thing with Snake, you don't know. You just don't know. He might do a random quote. He might do facts or something. He might look and say something weirdly sexual, or he might just do a joke. So just understand, this is Snake. You have no idea. He's Snake. You don't know. He's one of those snakes that can shed the skin and disappear and turn invisible like an iguana, but not an iguana. He's I don't know. You don't know. We don't know. Hammer don't know. We don't know. Just that's what it is, people. Just deal with it. That's cool. We try.
Just
we try.
remember the
But
phrase: "If there's a snake, would have bit me."
Snake would have bit me. I can't do. You just did that. Very well played. Good job.
You just never know.
So the director from the other Suicide Squad, Ayer, everybody's been saying, "Oh man, this is way better than the other Suicide Squad movie," and then people have been kind of tweeting at him or whatever, and he's upset. Not because the movie's good. He loves the movie. He thinks it's a good job, James Gunn. He's upset because Warner Media has, pretty much, once you get beat up by a director, you decide to not let yourself get beat up again or get robbed or whatever the case may be. You driving down the street and your windows are down and you at a stoplight and somebody is able to jump in your car and take your stuff, you're going to roll your windows up the next time, right? So that's what Warner Media did this time. So in other words, the director, Mr. Ayer, he wants the Ayer cut to come out. He's telling everybody that his movie may not be as good as this movie, but it is really, really good if you see his director's cut. And they talked about it before when the Snyder cut came out, but Warner's like, yeah, we're not doing any more director's cuts. That was the last one because they don't like getting bullied, and I don't blame them. I mean, Snyder bullied the mess out of him with the fans. Everybody bullied the mess out of Warner, and Warner is like, nope. Warner Brothers like, we ain't getting bullied no more.
What?
No, you know what? No, you know what?
They did get bullied.
That first Justice League was absolute shit, and it needed to have the damn Snyder cut. Because they should have left it alone, left that man shit like he had instead of making him cut out everything. So if this dude has something better that was supposed to be in Suicide Squad, they need to shut the hell up and let him do it. That's my opinion. Stop cutting out on good stuff.
The Snyder
cut
was
Suicide
justice.
was what. Yes, that was what was Justice League.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Me and him don't agree on everything. We agree on that. God dang it! Stop getting in the way of the director. That ain't bullying. They shouldn't have to come back and be like, let me do my cut. Look at what I got. They should have left that alone. They should have left it alone and let him have Suicide Squad however he wrote it the first time. And it probably is 20 times better.
Yeah.
Just my opinion. Sorry.
I agree. But no. I agree. Don't get me wrong. I agree. I'm just saying that I know why they didn't. I know why they're saying, or why they put in their press release, we're not letting any more director's cuts, because I can imagine them going to the other meetings and they're meeting with the Disney execs and Netflix execs and everybody. They said, let's say they're out eating at a dinner table or on a beach somewhere, and Disney's like, yeah, we're doing good over here, that movie wasn't so good, but I guess we don't got to worry about a director saying that they gonna change the movie up, like a little bit, and then Warner's like, okay, so they put out a release saying we're not gonna let that happen no more. I mean, truth be told, they honestly should have made the movie, let the movement right the first time around, so they wouldn't have got everybody coming up with pitchforks and bats trying to beat them up, and then they saying okay here, but So the director, Mr. Ayer, he wants his Suicide cut to come out, and Warner's trying to block it. So I don't know. I mean, if he gets the right people behind him, who knows what? Maybe Warner will get back into a corner and let him do it. They're trying not to right now, and I think that's why they're trying to hurry up and trying to release all these movies so they can hurry up. People stop talking about it.
All the suits need to get out the way.
Yeah,
all the suits need to get out the way. If you don't know anything about directing the movie, you don't have an opinion. Shut up. You pay this man a lot of money to come in here. You don't see them telling Kevin Feige what to do. They give him a blank check and tell him shut the hell up. Like they hey, we're going to go do something else, and you do what you do, and let us know when you're ready for your movie to come out, and or whoever's going to direct it, you got it, and they leave it alone. Why does it always have to be like somebody that wants to micromanage everything on the DC side? It's like, you brought this man in to direct the movie. You brought in Zack Snyder to direct the movie and then cut out all the good shit and changed everything and made it garbage. Why? For what? I mean, don't get me wrong. It was long as hell whenever he released his. It was. I had to watch it in like 2 days, two and a half days. But
Yeah.
that movie was what it was supposed to be. Yeah, like
Stop saying that.
like no, it's the truth. It was Justice League.
Yeah.
They need to. Anybody with a suit that does not know how to know anything about directing or anything about the movie goes need to get your ass out the way and sit down. Period. That's all I got.
No, you definitely right. You definitely right about that. And that's just how the thing's supposed to go. You know, people want power, people want to do these type of things, and they get these kind of things like that. So I want the Ayer cut to come out because I would like to see what that other part is like. Maybe Harley Quinn like wears her old outfit through the rest of the movie or something. Maybe they said Joker's cuts in there, so maybe Joker comes in and maybe he cuts off some legs. I don't know. Whatever it is, I would love to see it. So if people do that, I'm down.
They fix the
and
Joker.
Well,
Yeah, he wasn't a fan of Jared Leto's Joker.
yeah, I know. I know. I think he liked him better in the Snyder cut. I know. I think he liked him better in that probably. But I know. A lot of people didn't like him, but that was just a different play rendition on it. I know. We ain't gonna talk. We ain't gonna get too many.
Fan of it. I'm not a fan of it, but it is. I get it. There's a million versions of Joker.
He was the same Joker.
The same one.
Yeah.
He was the same one, but a lot the thing about it is that he was, since a lot of stuff in past and Dark Side. Yeah, he wasn't as flamboyant as you so yeah. I have a feeling you about to do something with that. So let's just not.
He was seasoned. That's basically what was happening with him because
I thought you was about to do a joke again. So I was going to stop you.
It was because things have happened to him. That's why he was the way he was in that movie. Like Superman was killing everybody. Like I mean,
yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what made that Joker or Jared Leto's rendition of that Joker in that movie, because he was seasoned as you coined, was way. That's what made him better, opposed to early in the Suicide Squad and all, where he was just like, ugh, like what is wrong with him, So I totally get it. But now let's we got 2 more things to talk about, and then we're gonna get out of here. And I'm gonna save the best for last, but I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna jump right back over to the MCU because I wanted to talk about something. And this is actually gonna lead into the last thing. But because I forgot to talk about it earlier. So no, I was talking about Netflix. So remember, I know Hammer said he loves on Netflix watching the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I like watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever. And it's sad that they're technically gone. And let me just say it's up in the air. Why did I say it's up in the air? Because it's rumors that some characters from Daredevil or Daredevil himself might actually be in the MCU. It's an actual thing. They're actually saying that now. And it's because of a couple of key things. The She-Hulk show. The She-Hulk show is going to be based in New York. And she's a lawyer. And they're saying that he may show up as a lawyer there. And then they might use and this part was speculation. But one of the ways that people say they can explain it is that since all the Netflix shows, all the Daredevil, and not just his show, Jessica Jones and the others, how they the reason why you don't see them after the fact, because first they got canceled, but they got canceled before Infinity War. So therefore, you could say that they got snapped, and then when they came back, so they kind of knew what was going on. Plus, as you know, the Defenders and everybody, they weren't like established yet. They were still like fighting local gangs and stuff like that. Around the same time, Spider-Man was still doing his thing when Tony Stark found him. So you can kind of say, okay, that's kind of where that was going on. So, and it's speculation that Kingpin might be in maybe one of the Spider-Man movies. So I wanted to talk about that because I think that's dope. If they're bringing back the Daredevil shows and it's just that simple and easy, how much more would it be to maybe bring back Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or tie in some other stuff, whatever, and and then that's definitely giving hope for X-Men, because X-Men and all that's gonna come in. Cause I think they're gonna I don't think they're gonna use Loki to explain Daredevil. I think he's gonna say that they were already there. They were just over here, and now they're having more bigger roles now since all the stuff started to happen. Since more things are starting to infiltrate their little small world, because they just dealt with gangs and stuff. They didn't have to worry about the aliens because the Avengers deal with all that. But now the aliens and the monsters and all the stuff, maybe because of Loki or maybe because of Scarlet Witch or whatever, is starting to infiltrate their world. So now they might have to do a crossover with She-Hulk or the Hulk or Thor or whatever. You might see Daredevil doing all this and everything because they might have to. Or maybe Kingpin is like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna make some money off this, so I'm gonna go talk to Magneto and say, hey, we're gonna go here and run a gauntlet on all these foods and make us some money. You know what I'm saying? Blah blah blah, whatever and whatever. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Stranger things that happen in the comics. It could definitely happen here. And Kevin Feige, the way he was talking, this man is amazing. And I say amazing because he has very good what is it called? When they paparazzi it's not the word. Whatever. He's a very good interviewer. So he knows how to sit there and talk to you and tell you what you want to hear without telling you what you want to hear. And I'm like, what? So are they in there? Yes and no at the same time, but without saying that. And it's like he said a whole different word, but I'm like, cool, bet. I don't know what he just said, but I'm down. And that's so. I think that's dope or whatever. And I just want to see the. I don't know if y'all heard that or whatever, or how do y'all feel about that as far as that Daredevil, or do y'all think they should just get somebody else, or get a new Jessica Jones, like recast all them, or just bring them in? What do y'all think?
I'm okay with the guy that plays Luke Cage because I mean you got to include that too.
Yeah, my boy.
I would like to see him. I would like to keep him as Luke Cage. Same with Jessica Jones. I mean, it makes it better whenever it's the same characters. I mean, I'm sorry, it just does because you're already used to them. And if you're gonna start like intertwine them into the true like MCU, it to me it would be so much better to keep the same characters if possible. Including Daredevil. I am not a huge Daredevil fan. Like he's okay.
We talked about that.
I have no issue with his stories. I didn't like Ben Affleck. Yeah, I didn't like Ben Affleck as Daredevil. Because I felt like he acted like a bitch about it, but that's side point. But if they're gonna put it into the MCU, I think you use the same characters, and I think it'll be fun. I'd like to see the same Jessica Jones, the same Luke Cage, the same Daredevil. Like that'd be cool. They got so many options with the MCU. Like it's ridiculous. Loki just opened up a whole another bag of worms.
Yeah.
And you still have Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness, which can screw it all up again.
Yeah.
Not screw it up, but it can change everything again. And you still got Thor, Love and Thunder was going to come out, which is I think that's going to change some things with some characters. Because I already read some things about that, and I'm like, that's confusing because I thought that person did, but who knows? But so I mean, for consistency, I want the same character. I think I'd want the same people to play the same character. It'd make it easier.
Yeah. Snake, how you feel about the Daredevil people coming in?
The new Daredevil people or the Ben Affleck Daredevil people?
No, not them. Not the new Daredevil from Netflix. Not Ben Affleck. No. Not Ben Affleck. That'd be weird. That wouldn't
Daredevil back then. So in your face.
Oh, that's why you said that.
No. Especially Electra.
Ben Affleck was whack.
You're whack, sir.
He sucked.
Yeah, you do suck. But I mean, it's all multiverse, so I don't have a problem with any of it.
Yeah,
like that's the whole thing with any show that they have. It's all multiverse shows, so they can pull from any one of them. So I mean, I wasn't a big fan. Like, so if you're talking about the just Daredevil, or are you talking about like all of them, like Luke Cage and
yeah, that slate of characters
Iron
is pretty
Fist
much that slate of characters pretty much their world
Defenders.
apparently is opened up now to where if whatever Kevin or Marvel MCU wants to pull, they can pull from any of them. They can take all of them, a few of them, and maybe change some later or however they want to do
Well,
it.
that was the whole reason that they took all of them off of Netflix to put them on they took them all off of Netflix. That way they can put them on Disney Plus and use them as they want to.
Yeah.
That was the whole
But
purpose.
I already know what you're saying. You're talking about not Luke Cage. Wasn't that Iron Fist? You want to change him though, at least,
Yep.
or at least
Yeah,
that
I
story.
forgot about Iron Fist. Yeah, they do need to change Iron Fist. I agree.
I just
Iron
didn't
Fist
like
is
how
the
he
only
was
one
just a
who
whiny
changed.
little bitch the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, just change
Yeah.
that at least.
Iron
I'm
Fist
sure
and
Kevin
Blade.
will. Kevin, he's pretty good. He'll find a writer that can make it right. You know what I'm saying? Somebody come in and just have him very like stoic
Yeah.
and all that. So they'll find somebody. If they bring him over, right? I mean, if anything, they probably bring him over. I want to see him like maybe in Eternals 2 or something like that, because he got those type of powers and like that, the power he got, or in the Shang-Chi 2 or something like that, because of the martial arts. That'll be dope. I'll be down for that. And now, since that's the case, y'all already know that Kevin Feige did an interview and he was talking about how there's a possibility in the future, maybe, as he said, that Venom will maybe sort of be in the MCU. He just kept doing stuff like that. So he would never say no, but he would never say yes. The only thing he didn't say, he just said, not at this very moment. And then they were like, well, so he is coming. He said, it's a possibility. And I was like, dang it, just say yes.
Yeah.
Just say it.
Yeah. All of that just means, later on we're gonna add it.
Yeah, and which made me think about, because I know the shout out to Mercy Awesome, that dude does very, very good commentary. He talks about how that's one of the reasons why he thinks that they haven't done the Spider-Man trailer like No Way Home, because he thinks that because of what Loki did, because of what Sony's doing with Venom and Morbius and stuff like that, and why Kevin Feige keeps coming on and half telling half stuff, is that in those trailers they're probably going to explain a lot more of the multiverse. Like they're going to explain whatever's going on after Doctor Strange. They're going to explain more of Loki. They're going to explain if Spider-Man is going to see Venom. They're probably going to explain more of that. But they don't want to give that away yet because that's a Sony and Marvel collab. So they're like, well, let's not give this, because we haven't seen anything from that yet. So that's probably why. Which brings me to the Venom trailer. Did y'all see Carnage? Boy, I was like, I thought it was dope. I like how they got him looking. And I even like how they got him transforming. It's way different. Venom like transforms like this. Carnage face just, his regular face just does that or whatever.
Because his makeup is different. Seriously. Like his genetic makeup is different than Venom.
Oh, okay. I was like, why are you going behind the scenes of the movie? Just stay in the
Well,
fakeness
if I was going
of
to do
it.
that, then I'll just tell you that the CGI guy is different.
Stop breaking the fourth wall, sir.
No.
Breaking the fourth wall.
I don't know. I didn't know if I like how they gave him the powers.
Yeah, see, that's something else
Like,
that I wanted to talk
motherfucker
about.
bit
Yeah,
him. The fuck?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
how
So,
does that?
Yeah.
How does that get the power? Like,
Well,
in the
from-
comics
from-
or like in the original, like they were cellmates, and then like Eddie broke
Yeah.
out, but like he got cut, and a little piece of venom got into his cut. Like, did they go into his gums? I'm confused. Like, I'm like,
yeah. Well, what they're saying is that they're combining a lot more, or they're combining Maximum Carnage, and they're
Well, I get
combining
that.
that other storyline. Yes, but it's another storyline where they made Cletus Cassidy accountable too, apparently, in one of the storylines. So
I get it, but
they're
at the
saying
same
that
time, like,
when he bit him, he drunk the blood, and Venom was in the blood apparently, and that went inside his blood, and then that's where he spawned and Carnage. That's the idea that they're going with or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I need more details, but that's the idea. So that's why everybody's like, huh? So I'm still waiting to more details on that. Maybe the movie will say, maybe we get that lady who says symbiote and and maybe she'll break down Carnage in his blood. Maybe she'll break it down. We're gonna let her do that because she was so great in the last movie. She was amazing. We loved her.
Which one are you talking about?
Because you're right. It was a lot of people who said symbiote, but the black with the black hair and the glasses, because she was the one they used on the trailers the entire time. The one that everybody made the most memes out of. She was like symbiote or whatever she was saying, and we was like, everybody was like symbiote or not, and everybody making fun of her.
I hate how Eddie's girlfriend left him.
Yeah, but he's Venom smacked him. The dude, so that was cool. That was funny.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
Like, it was funny. Like, that could have been us. I like the part where they're in the church and, like, Venom actually backed down. He's like, oh, shit.
That's a red one. Which that's pretty cool. Like, I need to look more into that because I didn't know. I know Snake talked about it on Nerdmation. Shout out to Nerdmation. You guys should watch that on Fridays. You guys should. Or go watch some of the old episodes. Go on YouTube. Watch some of the old episodes because you would like them. You will. But yeah, I know he talked about Venom before, and I'm not sure if I can't remember. It's been a while. I've slept since then. I know we talked about the God of the symbiotes and everything else, but I would definitely like to do or maybe read them all or do like a recap video. I need to go watch a recap video of like the different types of symbiotes, you know what I'm saying, and what they look like, and and it's red more powerful than the black, and the orange eats the green, and if you like a lightning, I don't know what colors they have, so whatever, there you go.
Did y'all catch it was a really quick scene, but did you catch where they had Scream in it?
Yeah, the girl. She was
Scream.
I saw her. I saw the girl shriek, but I didn't see the.
Yeah, but that's her.
See the scream.
Yeah, that's
like
her.
they had her in the symbiote.
No,
suit?
I'm just saying that's her.
Oh, okay.
Before, I mean, like it's
Before
like
yeah.
They haven't showed her like in full on symbiote, but it was a tease. It was the way they teased it, so she's gonna be in the movie.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. But pretty much, guys, that is it. That is the crisis. Those are the good things in the crisis. Those are the bad things in the crisis. This has been your state of streaming. So what's the happen next week? You know what? I don't know. Maybe I'll just wait to see some things coming up, because on Disney Plus it's the What If, and that's not in my wheelhouse. That's more of an animation thing. So maybe he'll cover that. Maybe he won't. Who knows? And then there's a lot more gaming stuff coming out, but again, that's not in my wheelhouse. No, so I can't talk about that. But there are a lot of trailers coming out or whatever. So maybe I'll talk about some trailers or whatever. Right now, shout out to Tiffany Haddish. Shout out to Will Smith. They're in some new films that I think is pretty dope or whatever. Where Will is playing the father of the twins that play tennis, and Tiffany Haddish is in some kind of movie about a dude who used to count cards or whatever. She's playing a serious role. She's not very comical in this, so I think that's really dope. So just saying, because I know I'm not going to talk about those. So just FYI. And Marlon Wayans is in Aretha Franklin. So there I go. Just some little small tidbits. So next week we're going to talk about maybe we'll talk about some real trailers. But in the meantime, if you want more of this one and those two, you need to go over to the Get Down. Well, first you need to subscribe, because if you subscribe and hit that bell notification, if you're on YouTube, you will see these faces all the time, or at least our Bitmoji faces. You might see Bitmojis first, I think. So you'll see our faces, then you might click and watch the video. And then if you're on Facebook, you can just go on there and just click and watch some videos and see what we doing. Talk to Hammer because he talks on Facebook all the time. He used to be on there. He don't do nothing all day. No, I'm just playing. He works, but he'll be at work and he'll talk to you or whatever. So there you go. You know what I mean? So check us out on the Get Down that is coming up, and then check us out on the information. With that being said, I'm Mingo-Dee. That's Snake. That's Hammer, and we will catch you guys